This week is Maternal Mental Health Awareness Week, and I wanted to share a little bit about my own personal struggles with mental health during motherhood. I created the Nourish app, a mental wellness app for mothers, because of my frustrations for the lack of tailored support for mothers who were maybe not quite ill enough to be supported by the NHS. I struggled with my mental health not only as a new mum, but also in juggling the stresses of work and mothering. When I was a new mum, I was one of the 50% who didn't reach out for support. I was undiagnosed and untreated, and I struggled on alone. I was afraid to reach out to friends. I was afraid to talk to my family. I didn't really relate to having a mental health issue, and yet now looking back, I know that I did. My biggest regret is not reaching out for that support, but also realising there was so much that I could do to support myself as well. Second time round, my husband and I reflected on the challenges of the first time. And so when I was really struggling a few months into the birth of my son, who had silent reflux and was crying the whole time, I was crying a lot of the time too, and it was a hugely stressful time for all of us. I did reach out for support and was diagnosed with mild anxiety and offered a group CBT course for generalised anxiety and some antidepressants. Now, I took both of these options because I knew that I didn't want to have the same experience and that same first real struggle first year of motherhood. And they were really helpful at lifting me out of that dark place. But I felt really frustrated by the lack of tailored support, the one-to-one support or the relevant support that really talked to the emotions and challenges that I was facing as a mum. I needed that empathy, that compassion, that's tailored support for mothers. And like so many other mothers out there who we've talked to through the course of the Nourish journey, having that empathy, that understanding, that real mum support, that people understand the real struggles that we go through as mothers is so important in that journey to recovery. It was actually through my own personal journey with learning the art of self-care, learning to nurture my mental health on a daily basis, to take that time for myself and use those wellbeing tools, those practical wellbeing tools to really nourish my mind, to support me on a daily basis, that made a transformational impact on my life as a mum, and on the impact with my on the relationship with my husband and the relationship with my kids. And all of that has had a huge impact, not only on, as I said, my family, but also my ability to show up as a professional that I want to be as well. My biggest regret is, as I said, not reaching out for support earlier on in my journey, but also having the knowledge and tools and insight to help me look after my mental health and giving myself permission to look after my mental health. We all find it hard to look after our mental health, but as mothers, we find it particularly hard. So Nourish really exists to make self-care easy, acceptable, and relevant for mothers. And we hope to support dads in the future too. It's so important that we give ourselves that permission, but also have those tools to look after our mental health on a daily basis so that those around us can really reap the rewards. So that not only can we find more love and joy and calm in motherhood, but also those around us can reap the rewards too. This week, we've got loads of activities going on our Instagram page, where I'm going to be interviewing over 15 inspiring mothers and talking about their own personal journeys with maternal mental health and wellness and their personal journeys to recovery and what's helped them. So head over to Instagram, tune into our stories there. We'll also be sharing some of the highlights here as well.